Yeah! Welcome to the Carpool Honcho! In the car today, you got me, Dino, from the Crate Flexible Office Space.
Roro from Naked Marketing.
And our Carpool Honcho legendary guest today, the man in the front seat, is Jamie McDowell from Ace Digital. Welcome, Jamie.
Hello, Dean. How are you?
Heavy boy.
Thanks,
Heavy
boys,
boy.
mate. It's been a long time. I've been chasing you to get in this car for a long time, mate. What does it
track me
take?
down. Just the coffee, mate. That's all I need.
You've been a busy man.
Very busy, yeah.
Building a very cool, amazingly fast startup.
Yeah.
Like, incredible results.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy what growth we've experienced so far in our second year of operation.
Well done.
It's crazy.
Well done.
So cool.
We got something in common, us three boys. We all started digital agencies.
Yeah,
that might lead into our
I wonder
whole
where you guys
topic
are going
today.
to go. Yeah. That's true. That's very, very true. Anyway, before we go any further, we want to thank our amazing sponsors.
Thanks, guys.
Today's podcast is driven by our friends at Albany Toyota.
And we are fed by our mates at Sal's Pizza.
And our tunes are brought to you from The Sound Store.
So, guys, tonight we are getting Jamie fed by the lovely Sal's Pizza.
Salt Pizza!
Hey, guys, just go down to Sal's, and if you want a New York Italian experience, you go to Sal's tonight and you get the most amazing pizza in the world. This is not just pizza, guys. This is the pizza.
Delicious.
You gotta have it. Yeah, man.
Go to Sal's. They rock.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, Sal's. Back over to you, Jamie, our legendary guest. Tell us a little bit more about Ace Digital, mate, and what you guys love doing and why you do it.
Well, we are a digital marketing company that was started in 2020. Just me and Tristan started it. And yeah, we've seen explosive growth since then pretty much, which I hope is a testament to our work.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Tristan. Hey,
Yeah,
buddy.
shout out Tristan, mate.
Tristan!
Woo!
We had Tristan on the show, gosh, about a year ago now, I
I think
reckon.
it's
Yeah.
funny,
And just to hear the legendary story, and you guys started this.
Co-founded it. Yeah.
Co-founded
Just the two of
this
us.
company, and you came into the Crate pretty soon after that, and we've just been a fly on the wall, watching what's been going on, and it's just like, whoa!
I know.
Like, it's just been amazing.
Even being a part of it's unreal. I feel like I'm a passenger in the car pretty much, just getting taken along for the ride.
You got quite a cool little team there, huh?
Yeah,
Tell us
we've
about
got an
the team.
awesome team. So I think one of the most valuable parts of our company is the culture we have. So everyone there is pretty young. We've all got energy. We've all got big goals. We're very ambitious, and everyone just gets along really well.
Oh, that's
we all
good.
show up
That's
for the same
important,
reason.
Can we just jump into
awesome.
staff culture for a second, because I think that's one thing that you guys have got going really well for you. What would you see as sort of one of the number one keys about how you treat your staff that make them want to be part of Ace Digital?
Yeah, there's definitely a few things I can touch on with that. So one in particular philosophy we try to implement is treating your staff as an equal, not as an employee.
Okay.
So it's not really removing the authority from it, because obviously at the end of the day, it's still our
You're the
company.
boss.
Yeah, we got to make sure things are ticking along. But just having a really casual relationship with them, we've seen a lot of benefits from that, right? I feel like anyone I work with, they're my friends outside of work as well.
And what's
And
the
that reflects in the
typical
workplace.
Ace demographic that your team?
It's not intentional, but it seems to be early 20s, early to mid 20s.
Yeah. So do you think that that's quite an important key? Because a lot of people are sort of struggling to kind of get that age group working hard. And like, mate, I'm blown away with like the commitment and the energy and the effort that you guys put in.
Yeah.
Early starts, late nights kind of deal, whatever it takes from this early 20s kind of age group. Is that simply, because you treat them as equals, you think it's kind of a really key part of it?
I think another thing is that everyone's super involved with a lot of aspects in the company, right? So I've heard that from a few other companies too, that people our age are hard to recruit. They can't get anyone
Stickability
on the
was
roster.
like, it was impossible.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think something that's important to us is we like feeling like we're important and we're contributing to something greater.
Right.
So I think providing that incentive is hugely beneficial to motivation.
So how do you help your team to feel like they're a part of something greater?
We're very, very transparent with our long-term goals for the company and plans for each person individually and how
Nice.
they work into the whole network. So we regularly get up on the whiteboard. We'll write out a big plan of where we want to be,
Nice.
how we're going to get there, what everyone has to do.
Wow.
So you're talking about career paths for your staff already, yeah?
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
And is that kind of like open book with the whole team?
Mm.
Or is that kind of like you have private meetings with each staff member?
Both. So the overall plans are all open book with everyone, and then we still meet with everyone once a month just to make sure that they're happy and we're all winning.
Tell us,
So cool.
so what sort of clients are you looking for, and what sort of work are you keen on doing?
So our favorite work to do is content creation with the purpose. So not just content for the sake of it. So we like doing big advertising campaigns pretty much, and we like doing the whole process from the creative inception, executing the content, putting the ads out, getting results.
Yeah.
The clients we're going for now, we're going for slightly more corporate clients. We want to hit a bit of a higher demographic just because we've found a lot of success with the ones we have worked with at the moment.
Cool.
Can you tell us a few of the brands
A
that you're
few,
currently working with? Yeah.
F45, you've
Yeah.
probably heard of them.
Mhm.
Moa Breweries down in Nelson.
Yeah.
Pretty big. Hey Hey's a good one. Cavalier Homes.
So
and we've got
cool.
a couple more
Cool.
on the table at the moment.
Alcohol and
So,
fitness, my favorite
Yeah.
thing.
Good
Love it, eh?
combo. Alrighty, well, we are here to talk about our series topic at the moment, which is dealing with disappointment.
Yeah.
By the way, before we go there, if you guys are keen to reach out to the Ace Digital guys, go to acedigital.co.nz, and of course you can readily get a hold of Jamie or Tristan or any of the team there that would be very happy to take your call and take your business marketing through the
Love
roof.
to.
All right, we are here to discuss a topic called dealing with disappointment.
Yeah.
That's our series at the moment, and it's a real one when it comes to business.
It is a real one.
And you know, we're primarily talking to business people on this podcast. So, you know, tell us a little bit about the journey. You know, well, how long has it been for Ace Digital?
Just coming up on 2 years.
All right, 2 years.
Yeah.
So has that been smooth sailing, mate, or has there been some sort of rough moments in there? And what's it
Definitely
felt
rough
like?
moments. Definitely rough moments. I think any businessman's lying if they've said it's been smooth sailing from the start, right?
Yeah.
But that's life. That's part of it. You're always going to have those ups and downs,
Yeah.
and it's just how you deal with it. I think is very important
Yeah,
to.
All right, how do you deal with it, mate? What's your sort of number one hack when it comes to, you know, getting rid of the disappointment factor?
On a personal level, I'd say treating yourself like someone you're responsible for helping is a good way to look at it.
Nice. Love that.
Nice.
So I read that in a book recently, actually, by Jordan Peterson. That was one of his key things that he talked about.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the time people find it easy to feel sorry for yourself, right?
Oh,
and
totally.
yet, when something negative blows up in your face, you don't know what to do. Your brain
Yeah.
fritters, right? Whereas if one of your friends or your family, if it happened to them, you'd have a lot more of a perspective on it. You'd be able to help them through it.
Yeah.
So I think if you kind of try to look at yourself in that manner and do the same thing, pretend you're helping someone else, that's very beneficial. That's
love
what I
that.
found anyway.
That's very cool. And everyone's going to go through disappointment, right? I mean, you just got to. I sort of expect the next thing to be coming, but it's about
Yeah.
it's about how you deal with those hurdles and how you get over them. So why is this so important? Has there been something in your life that's triggered this for you to start thinking this way? Because it's a really cool skill, and at your age, I commend you for actually thinking this way, and it's really, really mature.
Thanks, Rory. I don't think it was one event in particular. I think there's probably a string of events throughout my upbringing that's kind of just, I've naturally adopted this philosophy,
Very
called a
cool.
Stoic philosophy. So as I was a kid, I moved around a lot, probably 5 or 6 times. I moved around before I was 10.
Wow.
And then when I finally did land somewhere in Christchurch, we had the earthquakes a few years later,
man.
which
Jeez.
that was definitely a bit of an
Shaggy.
upset. Yeah, that changed a lot of things in me, I think.
That must be
And you,
scary.
what sort of age were you back
I
then?
think I was 12 when that
Wow.
happened, so
Wow.
it was
Pretty big deal,
unreal.
eh, for a
Yeah,
12-year-old.
pretty hard to process and even understand what's going on.
Your
Just-
school was
school was rubble, house was busted up, the streets were all busted. It was definitely rough. A lot of people I knew were moving away, just getting out of it. We were in it for a while. So I think that subconsciously shaped my response to disappointment, I think.
Yeah, very cool.
Because, yeah, a year or two from there, moved to Auckland, everything kind of worked itself out. And I think
it's a bit like Dean's driving, you know, like very often we almost go into trucks like we did 5 minutes ago, but it's like getting over the disappointment and
I
moving
can't
on.
wait to look back on the recording to see my face there as I kind of was just seeing that
We
truck.
almost looked a bit flatter there.
it's a
I think all of us
dangerous
are gonna be
podcast,
Well, we
mate.
had a cool
All of
chat.
us had that moment of, is he going to stop?
Yeah, so we had a cool chat with you just before this drive, and you mentioned that whole moving around as a kid. And I think it's about really just knowing that it's going to be okay on the other side of this, right?
Yeah.
Things are going to happen in life. You're going to be taking a couple of punches, but knowing that, like you had gone from one town, one city, and one country to the next, somehow in your mind you must have known, well, it's going to be okay. We're going to move somewhere. It's going to cause anxiety, but I'm going to get through it, and you're going to make the best of it.
I think I got to a point after doing it a few times where it's not as scary anymore, and you realize that, okay, actually, yeah, it will be fine. It is a bit of it's always scary going to something unknown, but you know that if you have the right attitude about it, everything will just work itself out pretty
Very
much.
cool.
There's a really, really cool analogy that I've picked up many years ago, and can't even know exactly where it was, but it's the analogy of a boxing fight and a boxing match. And there's a quote that says, "You don't have to win every round to win the fight."
Yeah,
And I guess when you've been a boxer for a while and you've lost a few rounds but still won the game, still won the fight, you kind of realize that, hey, I could be in the next game, next fight. I might be losing the first couple of rounds, but the game ain't over yet, right?
exactly. Yeah,
And the ability to kind of know that there is a bigger picture. There's there's chapters in life, right? There are sections, or there's seasons in life, and you don't have to win every season. You don't have to win every chapter, but know that just keep your eyes, fixed on where you're going and what you're pointed to, and over the bigger period you'll get there. So you've got this ability to kind of zoom out, right?
Yeah.
And what does that look like for you? How do you sort of, are you looking at your life sort of in a micro or kind of a macro? Like, what does that look like for you?
definitely on a macro scale. So I think when things happen in the moment, you obviously tend to get caught up in them, right? So the key way to kind of look at it is you want to take the emotion out of it and look at it over a long-term plan.
Okay.
If something happens, to upset you today, how's this going to affect you in a week, or in 6 months, or in 5 years? And 9 times out of 10, you won't even remember it. Right? You probably won't remember it by the next
week.
day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the ability to just look at the bigger picture, look at the grand scheme of things, and that's the most helpful thing.
Yeah.
I've got this. I've got a few shares on Sharesies,
Yeah.
I've got the little app, and you can look at the performance of your shares. Not right now. It's not. I
was going to say not great time.
No, not great time. But even now, right? You sort of look at it, and if you look at sort of the 6-month performance or the 12-month performance, it's going to look pretty volatile.
Yeah.
Then you sort of zoom out, you go 5-year performance, look at it, and it's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
And I think kind of having that ability to kind of zoom out like you're talking about is a pretty cool skill that you've got. And one that for all of us to kind of really pick up on, to go, actually, I don't have to always be living in the moment, experiencing emotionally everything that I'm going through, How do you deal with that, Rory?
Oh, there's 2 things. So I always think, with immigration, with like you, I mean, I lost my job before starting the business. And, they were tough times, but, you can think back to those times now when you have disappointment and say, well, times were way worse than now. And like there were times in your life where you're on your knees, right?
Yeah.
And think about, well, it's not that bad. You just got to take your head out of the situation, get out of your own head, and like you say, just move on.
Yeah.
Other thing I do is I look at life as a baseball game. I used to play provincial baseball, and there's going to be disappointments in life in the game. You're going to get struck out, but you're going to have another two strikes after that. And hopefully you hit the home run. You're going to hit the home run sometimes, but you're going to fail sometimes.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's part of the human journey, because life is not a race. It's a long journey, and you just got to enjoy every moment of it.
So good.
Does that make sense to you?
Very
Definitely.
Good.
Good little sporting analogies coming out today.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. So tell us, what positive outcomes there's been from you sort of, you've obviously got yourself into a bit of a habit, right? Where this is kind of second nature to you now, where disappointment comes. Yes, you feel it, it's real. But when you recognize that, you kind of extract yourself from it and give yourself the sort of third party advice. Like, what's the outcomes? What sort of benefits has that brought to you and even your business?
So like Rory said before, we both lost our jobs. So I lost my job in 2020 during the peak of coronavirus, probably.
Yeah.
Which was not a great
cool.
time to lose your job. No.
Blessing now, though.
Tough times. Yeah, real interesting times. So just by taking the emotion out of it then and just looking at the bigger picture, obviously it was a pretty scary thing to lose your job, right?
Especially in COVID. I mean, you don't even know if there's another job around the corner.
Absolutely. And that was my philosophy. But then I looked at it long term, exactly how we said before. I looked at a 5-year plan. Okay, the world's in a pretty unknown time. Who knows what's happening with jobs or the job market or anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to just be responsible for my own income pretty much and my own livelihood. Yeah. And then from there, we spawned the business, and now I'm here where I am today.
So
Beautiful.
if that didn't happen, if that disappointment of losing your job didn't happen, like, you may not have this flipping awesome pumping business of your own.
Yeah.
I'd assume making way more money than what you were
Than I was.
before.
Oh, definitely.
Having a whole lot more fun,
Yeah.
and you're building an asset, right?
Yeah.
And you've got a team of people around you that you're loving and
Awesome
doing life
team.
with, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think we forget that in the midst of disappointments. That, good. Often the squeeze has got to come on first in order to kind of birth. Sorry, I can't get down that track, but kind of release that next thing, right? That is actually going to be way better than what we've got.
And I think if, as human beings, if we can start thinking about disappointment and failure as a seed to this massive oak tree that's going to grow, there's always some sort of good and upside to all disappointment and failure in your life. You won't know it on the spot though.
No.
But
And
you
it's
will
hard to
realize
look
it
at
later though.
It's hard sometimes to look at it that way
Yeah.
because you are so engulfed by emotion in the time, right? I'm sure when you lost your job, like me, it seemed like the end of the world at first.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But then by removing yourself from it and then analysing the bigger picture, take the emotion out of it.
Yeah, and with me, I've got 2 boys still. I've got 2 little boys and a wife, and I thought, man, I can't be wallowing in this. I said, right, I'm going to take a few hours for myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really wallow in it a bit, but then I'm out of it. And you just got to move forward and up, man.
Oh,
and as long as you're falling forward in life, you're gonna make it.
That is incredible. That is incredible. I've read this book. In part of it might just have this analogy in it, but it was talking about walking. Do you know that every time we take a step, all we're doing is falling forward?
Oh yeah.
And then the foot goes down to save you from falling to the ground. Then you lift it up and you lean forward and you fall to the next step.
Yeah.
We've got this motion, but if you get good at falling forward, right? If you actually learn to live with that kind of motion, man, walking can get you places, right?
Yeah.
You can start to run and do it really quickly and achieve big things, right? So if we treat life as if, hey, there's a lot of falling forwards, but you know what? A solution's going to come at the right time. I'm going to work out a plan of what to do next, and you sort of pick yourself up and you fall forward to the next step. But if you actually kind of learn to get good at that and fast at that, then it actually becomes a very smooth ride.
Well, here's another part of it. I would rather be falling forward and seeing where I'm falling than falling backwards and not knowing where I'm going. So yeah,
That's
awesome.
a good point.
So we've got this awesome, amazing audience out there, and part of the series is just to engage them and give them nuggets and give them tips on how to become like the amazing Jamie. And once again, I think it's also part of your personality. You're really chilled out.
Yeah.
I'm not always that. So how do people that don't have this ability to deal with disappointment, what sort of nuggets would you give them?
One strategy that I think I've helped other people work through the same thing is literally getting a piece of paper and a pen. And if you're disappointed with something, right, you get a piece of paper and a pen and you write out your plan for the next year. And underneath that, the next 2 years, then the next 5, the next 10.
Wow.
And then you mark in that one blip of disappointment where you are now.
Wow.
And then you kind of measure how is this going to affect anything, right?
Yeah.
And you say, shit, okay, it's not too severe for 1 year. Oh, 2 years, I've already forgotten about it. 5 years, I'm up here. 10 years, because 99% of the time, it's such an irrelevant, small thing that won't impact your life. And if you're lucky, like what happened to Rory and I, it'll have a positive impact on your life.
Yeah. That is incredible. Hey.
Yeah, I love it. And do you ever focus on things that you're grateful for? I mean, you must be, obviously. I mean, we've been speaking about it.
I think that's another thing that is very helpful when you are in that emotional state just after some big disappointment. As you do, you count your blessings. You just think about everything in life you do have to be grateful for. That's not disappointment, right?
Very cool.
Your family, those around you who love and support you.
Yeah.
You got a roof over your head. You live in a great country. There's always things that are going great. And I think humans tend to naturally focus on the negative emotion.
It's negative.
Yeah.
Stupid people.
So awesome, man. I love it. And, you know, just to really kind of re-emphasize the point that when disappointment comes, you want to be able to zoom out and look at the big picture. And, you know, I would encourage anybody listening right now is go to your 5-year plan now, right? Don't wait for disappointment. Do it. And then let's say 6 months in, a year in, you get a disappointment. You go back to your 5-year plan, mark out where you are in your plan and go, look at what's happened.
Yeah.
Look at what has worked out for me. And then look at where you're going, as you say, and realize that actually this might feel like a major. It might feel like a massive mountain that you got to try and conquer. But actually in 5 years' time, and from a zoomed out perspective, it's actually just a bit of a molehill, you know?
Definitely.
And it's not such a major. We've got to kind of descale the emotion.
Yeah.
Hey.
Take the emotion out of it.
Awesome stuff,
Thank you,
man.
brother.
Cheers, boys.
So,
Woo! Wisdom from an awesome young businessman here.
yeah. And part of our disappointment in losing our jobs and actually a bit of a cushion was the crate, guys. And both Dean and Jamie and myself worked from the crate. And I just want to give a huge shout out to you, Dean.
Cheers, man.
It's a massive
Yeah,
support
thanks,
to us as small business owners. And also want to highlight your virtual office space, man.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want a virtual office space, and this means you're working from home, but you don't want to look like you're working from home with a horrible unmowed patch outside your house, get hold of Dean or Andy or Tiffany, come speak to them about virtual office space. It gives you a great look on Google My Business. It gives you concierge service.
Yes.
Is that right? Gives you a great place to meet your clients.
Yeah, meeting room access.
Yeah, and good coffee, man. The
Great.
best coffee.
We'll even answer your phones for you if you want, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Pick up your mail.
You didn't offer me
So you
that.
can literally have an office that is just a digital office. It's just a virtual office where people think you have your business from, and that means you can be running your business literally in another country, but people feel like you're based right here in Auckland with a high-profile address. So
good.
we'd love to help you out. Anyway, Jamie,
Thank you,
the
sir.
legend from acedigital.co.nz. Give us one last shout out about Ace Digital, mate. What do you do for your clients? Tell us about a recent win from the point of view of what you've given back to your customers. Success story.
We got one of our reels to 500,000 views the other week,
Sure.
which was pretty impressive.
500,000 views.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a win.
That's
Sure.
a great win.
Everyone check us out on Instagram and TikTok.
Was that the one where Tristan got naked?
No, there was a different one. Yeah, that one's behind a paywall.
That was 1 million views.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to get those kind of results, as I said, jump over to acedigital.co.nz.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Cheers.